Today I'm sharing my Carnivore Chicken Pot Pie recipe with a flaky crust and a creamy chicken filling. This is comfort food made clean, using only animal-based ingredients, and it's perfect for batch cooking or make-ahead meals. Come along into the kitchen with me and let's make these together. For the crust, we'll be using 3/4 of a cup of softened unsalted butter, 1 cup of milk powder. Now you can use whole milk powder if you'd like a richer crust, or skim milk powder for a firmer crust, and heavy cream powder is also an option as well. For this recipe, I'll be using whole goat milk powder, which tends to digest easier. And we'll use 1/2 cup and 1 tablespoon of egg white protein powder, 1/2 teaspoon of gelatin powder, 1/4 cup of tallow or lard, 1 large egg yolk at room temperature, and 1 teaspoon of unrefined sea salt. For the chicken filling, we'll be using 1.5 pounds of chopped cooked chicken thigh meat, 1/2 pound of diced raw chicken thigh, 1 large egg yolk, 2 tablespoons of chicken fat or butter, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth or bone broth powder mixed with water. Either will work fine depending on what you have at home. 1 teaspoon of unrefined sea salt, 2 teaspoons of unflavored gelatin, and 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. To start, we'll bloom the gelatin. Measure out 1/2 teaspoon of gelatin powder and sprinkle it over 1 tablespoon of cold water. Let it sit for about 2 minutes, then add warm water and stir until fully dissolved. This step helps the gelatin activate properly so it blends smoothly into the dough crust. Gelatin supports joint health, gut lining integrity, and provides collagen-building amino acids that helps give this crust its structure. We'll then cream the butter and tallow or lard until smooth. Then add the room temperature egg yolk and mix thoroughly. Once fully blended, we'll add the milk powder, egg white protein powder, and salt. Mix until everything is evenly combined and there are no dry pockets. The dough will start to come together, but it will still look a bit crumbly at this stage, which is exactly what we want before adding the gelatin. Now we'll pour in the dissolved gelatin and mix until a soft, slightly sticky dough comes together. Divide the dough into 2 portions, making one slightly larger for the bottom crust and one smaller for the tops. We'll then wrap both portions and refrigerate for 30 minutes to firm up before shaping. And now we'll move on to making the filling. I'll be using an enameled cast iron pan to cook the filling. It holds heat beautifully and cooks evenly, which helps bring out the flavor while avoiding hot spots during cooking. I'm starting by melting the beef tallow. And then we'll lightly saute the diced raw chicken just until the outer surfaces turn white. We don't want to fully cook the cube chicken through, as this will preserve the moisture inside and it'll finish baking in the oven. And then we'll add the chopped, cooked chicken and stir until warm through. Once fully warmed, turn off the heat and set aside. This quick saute helps lock in the flavor while giving it a head start before baking. Keep the mixture warm while you prepare the creamy filling. In a small saucepan over low heat, warm the bone broth, heavy cream, butter or chicken fat, and softened cream cheese. Stir until smooth and fully blended. Keep the heat low and stir gently to prevent scorching. We're looking for a creamy, smooth mixture that will pour evenly over the chicken. Adequate dietary fat helps support hormone balance, provides steady energy, and adds satiety, which helps keep you feeling satisfied after a meal. Now sprinkle in the gelatin and stir or whisk well until fully dissolved and lump-free. Once smooth, remove it from the heat. Now pour the warm mixture over the chicken and gently stir until everything is evenly coated. Then we'll add the salt and mix in the egg yolk until fully incorporated. Here I'm doing a chicken pot pie, but what other styles of filling would you make? And here is our chilled dough for the bottom crust. To portion out the dough, I'll be using a stainless steel dough cutter with wooden handle. And we'll use unbleached parchment baking sheets to act as a barrier between the pie crust and the weights to avoid unnecessary chemicals in the food. We'll be using ceramic pie weights to help the crust hold its shape, but uncooked rice or dry beans work just as well if that's what you have on hand. And I'll be greasing the ceramic pans with a natural boar bristle pastry brush with a cedar handle for even coverage. I'll use my stored bacon grease from this handy kitchen container. Generously grease each 5-inch ceramic pan with bacon grease, butter, tallow, or lard. Unwrap the dough and separate it into 4 even portions. Let me know in the comments if you prefer individual mini pies like this or one large family-style pot pie. I'll be using blue nitrile gloves for this step to help prevent the heat from my hands from melting the dough too quickly. This also helps keep the dough cleaner and makes it easier to handle while shaping. Press the dough evenly into the bottom and up the sides of each pan. Make the sides slightly thicker than the base. If you see cracks, smooth them with a damp finger. Next, place a piece of parchment over the base crust and fill the pan with ceramic pie weights. Be sure to visit carnivorecollections.com for the full recipe card and nutritional values. You can also click the link in the description below to go directly to the recipe. Once all the pans are ready, bake in the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Then turn the oven up to 350 degrees and bake for another 5 to 8 minutes, just until the crust looks set and dry, not browned. And here are the crust bases, partially baked. You may notice some butter on the tray, and that's perfectly normal. We'll now remove the parchment and the weights, and if you see any extra fat on the crust, you can gently blot that with a paper towel before placing it back in the oven. Be careful not to touch the pie weights or ceramic pans, as they will be very hot. Return the crust to the oven for 5 more minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit to finish drying the bottoms. Then remove them from the oven and let the crust cool slightly before adding the filling. We're now ready to assemble the pot pies with the cooled base crust, the chicken filling, and the chilled dough for the top crust. Spoon the chicken filling evenly into the pre-baked crusts. The filling should be warm or room temperature, not hot. Divide the remaining dough into 4 equal pieces and roll each one into a ball. I'm always on the lookout for new recipe inspirations. Let me know in the comments what comfort meals you miss since going carnivore. Then flatten each ball into a round large enough to cover the pies. Use the plastic wrap to support the dough. Place the dough over the filling and gently peel back the plastic wrap. For this recipe, would you make these for dinner or batch cook them for the week? Then carefully sculpt the edges of the crust. Using a fork, gently press down along the edges to secure the top crust to the bottom base. And with a small knife, cut venting slits in the top to allow for the steam to escape. And we'll repeat this process for each of the pies. To prevent the outer crust from browning too quickly, loosely cover the edges with foil or use a pie shield. Foil works, but it does take a bit of patience, so I'll link some pie shields below. They make this step much easier and are a great investment if you plan to make pot pies often. Bake the pot pies at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 to 30 minutes and remove the foil midway through. And here is our finished carnivore chicken pot pie. This is one of those recipes that feels comforting but stays clean and simple. And the great thing about these pies is that they freeze beautifully and reheat well, making them perfect for a quick meal during the week. As I cut into the pie with my spoon, you can see how well the flaky crust holds together and how moist and flavorful the chicken filling is inside. Each layer stays beautifully intact while still being soft and creamy. This is comfort food that actually holds its structure. Let me know in the comments if you'll be trying this recipe. Thanks so much for watching. You can find the full recipe card and printable instructions at carnivorecollections.com. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what comfort food you'd love to have again while being on carnivore.